Hi, I'm Michael Yardney and welcome to my market update for subscribers of Property Update e-magazine. Last week the Reserve Bank lifted official interest rates for the first time since March 2008, which has left many people asking where are mortgage rates headed and what's going to happen to property prices. Now if you can remember back to 2007, now it's not that long ago, but boy has a lot happened since then. The Reserve Bank Governor Glenn Stevens increased interest rates at that time in an effort to ward off inflation caused by an economy in overdrive. Now, thanks to historically low interest rates, the government's huge spending spree and China's rebounding economy, our economy is on the move again. So it's time once again to raise interest rates, but this time from their historically low stimulus levels back to normal levels, which means interest rates will rise probably around 2% in the next year or two. Now the next rise could even happen in November on Melbourne Cup Day, and then the Reserve Bank is most likely to sit back and see what happens over the Christmas break and hike rates again next February. So how high will rates rise? Well, one thing we've learned from the financial crisis of the last few years is that economists are notoriously bad at predictions. But currently the market has factored in rate rises of around 2% by the end of 2010. And that should bring interest rates back to what they call neutral levels, which means they won't be low enough to be stimulatory, but they won't be high enough to stifle demand. But let's look further ahead as the property and the economic cycle moves on. Once again, at some stage, the Reserve Bank's going to have to step in and lift interest rates further to restrain the next boom, which is inevitably going to happen. So back to my question, what will the rising interest rates do to our property markets? Well, firstly, they may make some first home buyers stop and think. But that's exactly what the rate rise was designed to do, to stop property buyers overcommitting to big loans at today's unsustainably low interest rates. But in general, the next few interest rate rises won't put a dent in our strong capital city property markets. Most people expected interest rates to rise, even though they thought it may be another month or two down the track. And the strong and rising confidence in our economy and in our real estate markets are going to override any concerns about where rates are headed. It's unlikely to see an interest rate-led slowing in property markets for some time yet. They're probably going to have to go up at least 2% before that happens. In fact, I know many investors are looking to lock in purchases and rates before rates rise, and before property rises go much higher. And the underlying fundamentals suggest our property markets will go much higher. So let's just have a quick look at these to reassure ourselves. Firstly, we're currently experiencing a population boom fueled by rising immigration and a baby boom. Yet at the same time, demographics are changing. There's few of us living in each household. We've got smaller households, which means we need more dwellings just for the same number of people. However, we've got a shortage of housing as builders have stopped building, which means vacancy rates are low and rents are rising. And as builders are getting back into the market, the cost of new construction is rising. Putting all this together means it'll take more than one or two interest rate increases to restrain our property markets. In fact, rising property prices will be one of the reasons interest rates will increase. So if you want to increase your wealth through property, now seems a great time to get into property. But first of all, you need to buy the right property, one that's going to increase in value above the averages. And number two, you need to structure your finance correctly and allow for a changing interest rate environment. As our property cycle moves on, I'll be keeping you up to date with my thoughts in these regular property market commentaries and through the Property Update newsletter. But if you're an experienced investor or a well-read beginner, I'd like to invite you to spend 3 days with me and the best faculty of real estate trainers at my Real World Real Estate Workshop on October 23rd to 25th. There's only a few places left for what's been Australia's longest running advanced property workshop, and it comes with a 7-year pedigree and my personal guarantee. You see, I've put together the best faculty of property experts in Australia, real world people who've achieved real world results, and in this small classroom environment we undertake to answer all your personal questions to your satisfaction. Plus, we'll show you the fundamentals of property renovations and property development. So please click on the link below to find out all about it and reserve your place now. Secure one of the few places left. I only hold this event once a year and it sells out every year, and this year will be no different. It's the best lineup of property, tax, legal, finance and property development experts ever assembled in Australia, and you'll have access to them one-on-one, as most of them are going to be staying for the whole 3 days to answer your questions. Of course, this advanced training isn't for everybody, but if you've been promising yourself that one day you're going to join us, please make this the year you're going to come, because remember, 2010 will be a boom year and we want you to get the most out of it. It would be a real shame to have gone through the pain many of us have gone through in the last 18 months without taking advantage of the opportunities that come out of a downturn. Let me show you how. Please click on the link below, find out all about the workshop, find out about all the specials that go with it, the bonuses, and get one of those last few places that are left. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to keep you updated with all that's changing in our property markets in future newsletters. But it's probably also appropriate to remind you in changing times like this that no one can help you quite like the independent property investment strategists at Metropole. Remember, we've got no properties to sell, but access to every property on the market. So if you want to find out a little bit more about what's happening in your local market and what our research suggests in store, join us at a free property briefing at our offices and our boardrooms in Melbourne, Sydney or Brisbane. Just click on the link a bit lower down under the video to find out more and reserve your place. Now, obviously my 3-day advanced training will be much more comprehensive than these boardroom briefings, but they're a great place for you to start and they're free. So click on the link below and join us. If you want to keep up to date with my regular tweets about property, please follow me on Twitter, and I've got a link for that down below as well. Look forward to sending you my next update in 2 weeks' time.